Hey everyone, it's Kato, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about something that most of you probably already know about, a set of custom pattern designs popularly known as The Path, originally created by Twitter user at denim2_Mori, and I'll have their Twitter information down in the description below, along with any other custom pattern codes that I use in this video. If you guys are having trouble finding those pattern codes, if you click on show more underneath the video, you'll be able to access all of those codes. If for some reason you have a question or you can't find one, just leave me a comment and I will do my best to find it for you. But let's just get right into the video. So first I want to talk about some different tips for organizing the path and how I place down the path. So I'm going to go into my custom design app here on my Nook phone. As you guys can see, I've organized my path just into this little circle with all 9 pattern slots here, just so I can easily see which pattern I need when I'm placing it. If for some reason you don't know how to organize your patterns, all you have to do is hit the Y button and it'll bring up this prompt for you to swap spots, and you're going to hit A, and then you're going to shift over to another pattern, hit A again, and that will swap the patterns in your app for you. So you can use this to spend some time organizing your patterns, just to find a way that it's easy for you to sort them and use them. So this is how I have mine set up. So the next thing I want to go into is how I place the path and why I use the Nook phone custom designs app to place it as opposed to using my Island Designer app. So when I place my patterns down, there is a specific orientation or order that the path will be placed when using the custom designs app. So I'm going to show you guys here. I'm facing the north, so the orientation of your character is something you need to keep in mind when doing this, because that's going to alter the place that the pattern is being placed. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys some examples and hopefully that will clear it up a little bit for you. So the first design that goes down is the tile that you're standing on. So you can see this one is a little bit shifted to the left, but it's not going to change anything. That is the tile that I'm standing on there. So I place the middle tile down there. The next one that gets placed is the one just above that. So you'll see this one goes down just one tile above that. The next one is the top right. Then you got the top left. Then the middle right. The middle left. Then you got the bottom right. Oops, bottom left. And lastly, the bottom middle. Okay, so you guys can see I've placed this entire circle here. And then if I come down here, I'll show you guys if I face a different direction. So this time I'm facing the west. I'm going to open back up my custom design pattern. I'm going to start with the middle again. You can start with any pattern that you want to, but you just have to keep that in mind when you're placing the patterns. So then I'm going to have to go to the left here. So it's placing the pattern based on the direction that my character is facing, which is the west. So if I want to place the tile directly in front of my character, it's going to be this one. And then again, it's going to be top right in reference to my character, which will be this one. Top left, middle right, middle left, bottom right, bottom left, and lastly bottom middle. So you can see as I was saying bottom middle, I'm obviously using a different pattern than I was previously. That's just because I'm basing it off of the orientation of my character. And you can see I placed another circle design pattern here. So I'm going to go into my Island Designer app here, and I'm going to click on Custom Design. I'll grab this middle piece here, and I'm going to show you guys how much longer it takes me to place the pattern this way. I've got to go back in each time to click the design that I want and place each pattern down instead of just standing in one spot, and I'm able to place down 9 different tiles from the same spot. Now I've got to go back in and click each different design. So I don't want you guys to think that you can't use the Island Designer app. It's perfectly fine to use. It's just not my preference. So I wanted to show you guys that just because you can see if I'm standing here, I can place it much quicker. Oh, wrong one. It's gonna go here, and it's gonna go here, here, here. As you can see, it's much faster for me to just use the Custom Design app, but it's totally a preference thing. If you prefer using the Island Designer app, then that is perfectly fine too. So I'm going to get rid of these patterns here, and I'm going to show you guys how I would lay down an actual path. Okay, I've got the area completely clear here, and let me just show you guys how I would lay an actual path down. So as always, I'm going to start with the middle piece here, and then I have no idea for which direction this is going to go, so I'm just going to kind of start laying pieces and see. Oops, I laid the wrong piece there. So as you can see, I still make mistakes on which piece I want to lay down, but we're just going to have it kind of winding this way a little bit. So that's another thing to keep in mind is I like to avoid using the same piece 2 times in a row. So if I were to say, okay, let's come down here, I'll have it go down again, and then straight, and then we'll do one more straight piece. Oops. Oh my goodness. Okay, so if I were to have these 2 straight pieces right here, that is the maximum number that I would do. Since I like to go for more natural islands, I try to avoid too much repetition because that tends to look less natural. So I'm going to place this piece here. Let's do a middle piece and then a bottom piece. And then let's go up with it again. So I'm going to let you guys watch me placing the path here, and then I'll come talk some more about the final result. Okay, as you guys can see here, I just kind of made a random path design here, but you can see how I tried to curve the path, and I even stopped it right here and started a new version to kind of break it up. So I like the look of breaking the path up. I think it breaks up some of the monotony, I guess, of all of the brown tones. It'll kind of mix in the grass there, so you can just see the difference of just changing those few tiles, how this looks a lot less natural here as opposed to when I had it broken up. So I'm going to break it up again here. And this may not be the same exact way that I had it before, but that's okay. Let's put these tiles back here. So those are two things to think about when you're placing the path, is avoiding too many of the same tile in a row, and then think about trying to break up the path. So you kind of break up some of that brown on the island, or whatever color your path is. It just adds some different interest with your path designs. Okay, next thing I want to talk about is when you are laying a path around a tree, I recommend placing, depending on which way your path is going to go, I recommend placing the path around the tree first, the borders of the path, and then placing the other tiles around it. Same thing if you were going to just create a big breakup of the path. You could do the same thing if you didn't have the tree there, but it just helps me to see exactly where my path needs to go. So that's just another thing to think about if you were placing a path around a tree. It just helps to place those border pieces down first and then place your other pieces down. So I'll let you guys watch me finishing up this path, and then I'll come back and talk a little bit more. Okay, so another thing I wanted to talk about are these other custom patterns that I have, and this is from a different creator, but I absolutely love them. It's these 4 patterns right here. I've got these 2 different holes and then these 2 different narrow versions. I like to incorporate these in as well, especially these hole patterns. Sometimes when I have big areas like this, or even bigger of the path, I like to break it up. I'll just take one of these middle spots and put one of these holes in. I think it just adds another variation for breaking up the path and adding some different interest when you have a lot of this dirt path on your island. So I like to break it up. And then there's also these different single lane narrow paths if there's a space that you need just this small little area, because sometimes the 2-lane path just won't work. So I definitely recommend checking out this pattern too. But ultimately, laying down the path, once you get the hang of it, it is super easy, and I love all of the different possibilities and just creative ideas you can use with the path. There are also so many different versions, so I'm going to show you guys a bunch of different versions of the path now, including some of my favorites. I hope this little mini tutorial helped you guys. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. But I hope this helped, and let's get into the path variations. So really quickly, I wanted to talk about this first pattern. This is definitely one of my favorites, but I'm going to show you guys one of the best things about using the path is when you want to use a different variation of it, all you have to do is come into the Able Sisters and make sure that you're saving the correct pattern design over top of the tile that you were using previously. So I'm going to, for example, save this little top version of the path directly over the top version that I was using previously, and this is going to change it on my island wherever I'm using the path. So with the different seasons, or if you get tired of using a different version, or if you just see a version that you like, this is an easy way to change it out. So I'm going to change out all of these different tiles, and then I'm going to show you guys out on the island what it looks like. Alright, as you guys can see, this changed all the different tiles. So once I have my path placed, I don't have to redo it every time that I want to change out the path. As long as I have those 9 different tiles, I can just change it out in Able Sisters, and then it changes it out here. This one is one of my favorites, and she has a dark version too that I will show you guys. I love all the little speckled flowers in this one. I think it looks so pretty. So I'm going to show you guys the dark version now. Alright, and here is the dark version. I think this darker version is my absolute favorite. I absolutely love the way that it looks with all the little flowers inside it, just like the lighter version. But that's just something you guys can play with, is looking at all of the different versions of the path, and you can just search on Pinterest or Google or look on Twitter. There are so many different versions. So I'm going to go through and show you guys several different versions here and how they look on the island, and I will come back at the end of the video to wrap it all up. Alright, so there you go. There are several different versions of the path, including several of my favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it helped. If you did enjoy the video, I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe. If you guys want me to do another video including even more versions of the path, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Thank you.